Hi guys, we're going to be back for C is for cousin, and I have everything sort of prepped to do this. And so I've got the picture of my nephew and the paper that's going to back it and just give it a little trim around the edges. I use this paper because it kind of reminds me of school, and I'm talking about how well he and his brother have done in school and just the cousin bond that they have with Emma. This little piece is going to go over. I used the stencil that my friend printed for or cut for me, and you can't really tell, but I did use two different products. This half is using just white paint, regular acrylic paint. This side I used some texture paste, or I think that's what it's called, texture paste. And so it has a little, you can run your hand over it, has a little more dimension. It kind of works out perfectly because the C is for the cousin. It's going to go on the bottom half and it'll stick better when it doesn't have that texture. I did do a special finish on this, which you're going to have to get real close for. And I don't know that you're going to be able to even see it then, but there. It's this pen. It's called a snow marker, and you write with it and then you use your heat gun and it makes it poof up kind of like a puffy pen. And so it has a little bit of texture. I didn't get a ton of texture out of it, but I got a little, so I think it looks good. And it's just a little something that makes it pop out from the page a little bit more, because that chipboard brown didn't really pop. We're going to put this little heart in the middle here, or this circle piece in the middle, and it's going to flip out. It's going to be on the back side of B is for Boss Babe, and so it's going to be the standard 7 inches wide. So I'll need to cut this paper. So we'll get going on that, and so I'll put you on fast forward. Voiceover on this section because we had a lot of problems. We started off, I'm going to use red line tape, and I'm going to connect the chipboard to transparency. It helps to use red line tape when you're doing two different textures like that. It also has the advantage of not being seen through the transparency because the red line tape is clear. The little red bits get everywhere, and of course it takes forever to get them unstuck, but that little weeding tool that you can get at Dollar Tree is very helpful as a burnisher or a score, like a folding score, or you can use the point for a lot of things. I also used, again, the red line tape on that little circle as well. I used scissors. It went over the edge just a little bit, so I had to fold the edge of the red line tape back over. Again, I used that tool as an extra pair of hands almost, or tweezers, and it helped me get it on straight. Now we're going to cut the paper to size, and I had already marked it to be the same size as the other one, but really what it needs to be is 7 inches wide, which is the same as the B for Boss Babe. And then I'm just going to do some scoring. This is the journaling that I printed on Vellum, and gosh, it took me so much time to get that correct and printed properly. I have a new EcoTank printer, and the first piece of vellum fed wrong, and it just, oh my gosh, so much trouble. But I finally figured it out. I cut the section to size, and now I'm scoring it so that this extra flap of vellum can be what the picture is attached to. And so it I love vellum as a connector piece for flaps. It is stronger for some reason than regular paper, but it's not so thick that it just bounces back like using cardstock. Okay, and so here my problems start. I put the tape on the wrong side of the picture because I didn't check. And then I put some on the vellum, thinking, oh, they'll work together to be a nice stronghold. And then I take the backer paper off and flip it over, and ugh, the glue's on the wrong spot. So I'm like, okay, can I pick this off? Can I get this off just by picking it off? Can I use an eraser to erase it off? Because I have that eraser from Dollar Tree that's the sticky eraser. That didn't work. So I said, okay, what can I do? Well, I can back it with the rest of the paper and we'll go from there. So you see my little hands going, oh well, this is what we're going to do. And so we're putting paper or glue on the back side of that paper so that we can get it all stuck. Get it all stuck down. Yay, it's all nice and smooth. And then, oh, I didn't put the vellum in. So now I've got to use my bone folder again to open up that seam and put the vellum in, and yes, pick off the paper that got on the sticky. And now we're putting more glue on, or tape, more tape. Use scissors this time. That's great. Okay. We're going to fit the vellum in. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I need to trim that vellum down because I can't seem to figure it out. And yeah, it gets stuck down again. So yeah, this was some trouble. So I just cut it to size. And yay, it didn't stick to itself too badly. And I'm able to fit the vellum in. And get it flipped open. Yay, it all works together. Oh, wait a minute, there's not any glue there. So I gotta add some more tape to the situation so that that's a good strong bond and that the flap opens well. Okay, so all smoothed down, yay. And we can cut this to size. It's not gonna cut anything off. Reuse the cutter, okay. So yay, that bit is done. Now to attach it to this piece, which I had already cut down to size. And I think, oh, I'm gonna put my holes in. And so I mark all my holes for punching the holes. And I nearly do it. And then I think better of it, because I probably should just attach it to the B is for Boss Babe first. And so here we go. We're going to attach this to the white paper. And again, I'm just going to use regular tape behind this vellum. I probably should have used red line tape. It probably wouldn't have shown at all. This, it just has the ever so slight shadow, and you can barely see it. It's fine. I think it's the edge of the tape is dirty or something, so it's showing a little bit there, but it's not bad. So we're just using regular tape, and then we're attaching that. And you got to get it lined up, Allison. Okay. Yay, that all looks nice. And then this can be attached, and so now the tape runner comes out again. More tape. And I'm not concerned about this coming off. It's all relatively flat, so I don't think I'm going to have much trouble with it. If I were to use scissors, I wouldn't get those little hangies, but we're going to get this on. All right. Yay. Now we're going to put it in the book. Piece for Boss Babe. That means we still need to cut the holes. So that means taping this to that. And we're going to use a lot more tape on this section because that edge will get a lot more work than just the pieces that we're holding the picture on. So I'd be sure to use, 5 pieces of tape on this. All right, all the tape. It all lines up nicely. There's ever so slight overhang, and if I were a perfectionist, I would get my metal ruler out and my tape and my straight edge blade, but I'm not going to worry about it because it's not that much and it's a little bit on each side. So we're just going to go with it into the book in the transparency. And we're done. All right, so here's the finished nail. I have this little piece that I did with the stencil and the C with the texture on it. And then I have this little flip out with the journaling. And I added this little bit. You didn't see that. We had some problems in the construction, didn't I? I glued it on wrong to begin with and had to rip it off and get it onto another backing piece, which I'm kind of glad that I added this because it makes it look more finished now with that piece on it. So I'm kind of relieved that that messed up. So it's much more cohesive now instead of just looking at the back side of his picture. So there we are on the back side of B. And I have D sort of ready, and it's going to be dressed to the nines. It's what we wore to the Alabama Theater to see White Christmas, but we'll tell that story when we get to it. So thanks for joining me for C, and I'll see you next time. Bye.